What is up, everybody? It's finally here. Redcat Rampage R5 that I pre-ordered quite a while ago. Been waiting for it to come. Everything seemed so freaking amazing. The specs were nearly the size of my Rampage MT. Electric motor, 8S. Big, heavy, amazing. So it's here. Here it is. I would like to do an unboxing, but I hope you can see it over there. The box is huge. I mean, it is a big-ass box. So, to me, there's no point. You know me, I'm not big on unboxings. It was a box that was large, with a large truck inside of it, and I picked it up out of it, and then there was a little box with this radio in it, and a little manual, and a couple of parts. So, don't mind that. Sorry, I'm discharging batteries right now. So, a lot of people hate on these remotes, these 2.4 gigahertz Redcat, cheap little jobbies. At least they're not the old style with the 8 batteries. It takes 4 batteries, and to be honest, I love them. It's got battery indicator, bind buttons. It's got reverses and forwards for the steering and the throttle. It's got all your trims, all 3 of them. And they work great. I don't understand why people hate on them. And you can get them for like 22 bucks on eBay. I mean, I have a ton of them. So anyway, came with that. All right, back to the truck. Wow. It's pretty big. I will say I'm a little disappointed, honestly. I mean, the wheels they're big, they're tall, but they're very narrow. They have a very nice tread on them. They seem like they're going to last a long time. The rims seem like they have a pretty good amount of meat touching inside there. They look like they should hold up as well, for the most part, hopefully. But if you look at the truck is like really big and really wide, and it just doesn't proportionally look proper. I mean, I think they should have had some wider tires like the Rampage MT. We're going to get down to those in a second, compare them. So, I don't know. I mean, it still looks badass, don't get me wrong, but it's almost like a big 5th scale monster truggy. Like, it's so large, it just needed bigger tires. It just does. I mean, they're beautiful, badass tires, and I'm sure electric-wise, it's a lot easier to spin these tires than it is to spin those big old meats. Drain the battery quick. So, obviously less rolling resistance is going to work out better for us. So, I have ran this. We're going to get to that in a little bit. So let's take a look at the bottom real quick before we... And with no batteries in it, it's pretty heavy. It's got to be a good 30 to 40 pounds. So flip it over here. I'm sure you've seen some of the videos already that have come out. Look at that, nice, just right there on top, right in my face. I guess you guys are on top of it right now. So anyway, very thick aluminum, nice plate, chassis guard, just plastic guard, and then boom, another nice big thick aluminum plate. I love the way that Redcat builds this stuff. It's very easy to take it apart. You can literally separate the whole truck within 5 minutes and a couple screws. It's just really great designs, even with the MT that I've had for over 5 years. It's just so easy to take it apart. So, alright. So that's the bottom. It's got, pretty generic bumper. Actually, the front and rear bumpers are identical, if you see that. They're the same, just like they do on most of our other trucks, the Landslide, the Terremoto. Same concept here. Nice beefy suspension A-arms. They don't... I think it could have been more beefy, but they still got quite a bit. Maybe they could have left some webbing in there, would have really strengthened this truck up. Everything seems to be adjustable turnbuckles. Dog bones. It looks like maybe like a CVD. And I'm not sure if you can see inside there. Hopefully you can. But there's extensions. It's like some kind of an extension Hope you can see that. I really do. So anyway, there's like extensions where it they, rather than designing it properly and making it longer, they just cheat it and put some kind of metal extension inside of these on the hubs, and it just pushes the wheelbase out. But it puts a lot of stress on that part right there, and I'm not in love with that at all. It almost makes me feel like before they designed it, it was short, and maybe the truck flipped over way too much, because I have this guy here it's an old shredder V1 from Redcat. That I have quite a few of them. I have the buggy. I have the the V2 monster truggy. That's the XB down there with different body, version 1 shredder. So anyway, I got this one. It's got Traxxas tires, and it's very narrow, and it likes to flip itself over constantly. So I feel like maybe that's what they did, and then they were like, oh, we can't do that. So they put these stupid extensions in here just to make the truck wider, and it's a bit of a rant for me, okay? You can see the steering does come down through the bottom, so it's kind of exposed. So you could lose steering if any kind of big rock or something hits that. Alright. This monster around. So, let's get the body off. So the body, if you know anything about Redcat, like this body over here, same thing on my Rampage, they're like super hard. Like stupid hard. This one's not like that. This one's more flimsy, like normal bodies would be. And, I mean, the bottom is more stout than the sides, but it's still not as crazy strong as the other one. So that's a slight concern, because finding bodies that are this big are expensive and difficult and hard to ship. And if you destroy them, it's a lot of money to replace them. And there's not a lot of options. All right, let's take a look at what's going on inside this beast. So we have XT90 connectors, stock, comes with it. Battery trays we're going to get to in a second. Let's talk about this monster, gigantic WP6BL160 8S waterproof brushless ESC. It's just a monster. It's really large, got a nice fan on top. It sucks when you get junk down inside there and the fan stops and you gotta have to, looks like you can clean it, but you have to make sure you stay on that. Nice power switch, kind of like Team Losi did, where you just hold the button and it lights up. I really love that feature. I wish every RC now came with this. I'm over this little switch, because every time you turn and you push the switch in, the little piece of double-sided tape you have is like spinning sideways as you. Oh, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, love that. So, unlike the Rampage and the Losi MTXL, and I believe the Rampage XTEE, whatever it is. So this one only uses one servo. Only has one high kilogram servo. It's one of their Hexfly HX30HT. So I think it's a 30 kilogram metal geared servo, metal horn, which, I guess will turn these big tires. It is nice to have that extra servo doing some help, but seems to be okay somewhat. Again, haven't really got far, and we're going to get to that also. Got a lot to go. This is a monumental truck, and just a lot's happened so far. So let's keep going over it. Inside here is the receiver box. Seems to be, it's not waterproof, but it's, somewhat protected. Then you have the motor. Spin it around, take a look at the motor. The thing is big. It's like a soda can in there. It's a really large motor. It's got a 1050 kV motor, and it's just big. Big old heatsink, dual fans. Look at this, I'm missing, either they fell out or I'm missing them. 2 screws to hold the fan together. I only played with it for like 10 seconds. I don't know how they would have fell out. So, manufacturing issue there. Alright, let's get to the batteries. I don't see any adjustable. You can't move anything. So you're stuck with a short battery. You can't use, let's say, you know, like a long-celled Traxxas battery. It just won't fit. So you're stuck using like your standard sized, you know, whatever battery like this. Or you get something bigger, but you got to make sure it's got a very high C. Like, you'd kill this battery in a second. 20 C. This can't supply enough power to this motor. This motor wants it faster than this battery can give it. You got to go with something even, like, even this isn't enough. This is only a 25 C Traxxas. You need at least, you know, like these are the batteries I bought for it, and quite a lot of money. But these are 100 C, Power Hobby 6500 milliamp, 4S batteries, so two 4S's. Okay, now you could use something like, you know, I have some different ones. So this is designed to run on 6S and 8S. It won't run on 4S. So you can't have two beautiful batteries. They say 40C, but I don't know if Fluorions are actually correct. You probably end up damaging these batteries. The motor's just too large. You're asking, you know, this thing, it requires premium batteries. So I do have these. I have these for my Super Baja Ray. They're 50C. I would use these in this, but, you know, I got to figure that out. So that's something. And then I picked these up on eBay. No, I'm sorry, on Amazon. These are really good batteries. The Z50C, you know, they would fit in there. I'd have 3S and I'd have 6S total. It's just that I guarantee you, even, you know, having 10,400 mAh, I still got to figure that out too. But even having 10,400 mAh, like, I'd probably burn through these batteries in like 8 minutes, if you're lucky. And that's, you know, that's $74 for two of these. And I don't know how long these would last, because, again, I didn't get to play long enough. We're going to go over that. But, I mean, hopefully, with all of this monster freaking battery, I can get at least 15, 20 minutes out of this thing, but who knows? We're going to find that out eventually. Let's keep the slate ranting going on here. All right, so here's another issue I have. Now, if anybody knows anything about the Redcat shredder, there's a version 1 and a version 2. So the original version, they kind of had the same thing with the springs, where they were really angled down, and they break a lot. And you can see that the back is the same, not as drastic, but it's still the same concept. I mean, this is a monster truck. It's not supposed to have buggy-style suspension. It limits the amount of travel, and it puts a lot of stress up here. Just not a fan overall of that design whatsoever. All right, before we start comparing, let's talk about what actually happened with this thing. So again, pre-order, I've been waiting for it. Finally came. I was so freaking excited. Bought these expensive batteries. I think they were like $80 a piece. And charge them all up. Go out to my normal bash spot. I call it, you know, whatever you want to call it, Graveyard Canyon, because every time I go there, everything breaks within 2 minutes. That's just the way it works over there. But it's the most amazing place to play. A most amazing place to play. Regardless, I took it out of the box. You know, I took it out of the truck. I sat it down. I popped the batteries in it. I turned it on. Everything seemed good. I started to drive, and I noticed immediately that it was in rear-wheel drive. The front wheels were not turning. I could just immediately tell. And sure enough, I was correct. Even though everything in here is turning, there's no four-wheel drive. So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with it. Am I supposed to send it back to, you know, the place I bought it from, Discount Hobbies? Am I supposed to try and contact Redcat? Am I supposed to try to figure this thing out myself? I mean, that's not fair. You wait all that time for something that's $800. It finally comes, breaks within, you know, right out of the box. I mean, it's just a manufacturing defect. It wasn't broken. It never actually was four-wheel drive. And now I don't know what to do with it. I can't drive it because I'm afraid you know, what if I have to return it? Because, I mean, I literally just drove it for like 2 seconds. And I do have that video. It's really horrible because I'm working with this helmet cam thing, whatever. This head strap cam. And I definitely had the angle wrong on the video, but you can still see enough. And I'll post that up there just so you can get an idea. But, yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. So I can't even really enjoy it. So screw this truck right now. Kind of pissed at it. I mean, I don't know. I don't have the Traxxas X-Max 8S thing or whatever, that big monster truck that Traxxas makes. So I can't sit here and say whether or not it's better. But I definitely expected a little bit more for $800. So let's compare, shall we? Let's fix this tire. I smacked into something and broke it. I gotta fix it. So here are some of the bigger monster trucks on the market. Got the Losi MTXL. It's got I think it's a chainsaw motor, but the goddamn thing sounds like a dirt bike. It literally sounds like a dirt bike. It's got a tune pipe on it, and it's loud. It's freaking huge, too. So this is the Rampage MT that I've had forever. I've had it for like 5 years, which I guess is forever. And I love this truck. It sounds like a chainsaw rather than a dirt bike. And it's super fun to play with when it's not either broken, which are usually my fault, or I just have nowhere to run them. They're so loud and aggressive that either the cops come or people just get pissed off really fast. So it's kind of like you got to play and then dart out, or you end up breaking them because they're so big, heavy, and powerful. So that's why I went with something electric. Something supposed to be what these are in an electric version. So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? You can see that the body is larger. It's a little wider. But look at the difference of the tires. I mean, this truck just looks meaty. It just looks badass. And this one just kind of doesn't. It looks like a wagon. Like wagon tires. Just not in love. But overall, size-wise, I mean, I guess you could raise the body up. But then you're going to be throwing shit inside the chassis. But overall, I'd say the MT is still a bigger truck. And the prices are so low on them right now. You can almost buy one and probably turn it into a crazy electric. Because I was looking on their website. They sell the motor for this. The motor and the speed controller for under $300, I think, total. So that in this thing, or even maybe this thing, would probably be pretty nasty. This thing would require some serious batteries, though. But anyway, that's where we're at, guys and gals. I don't want to leave you gals out. So the thing's huge, but I mean, is it super duper huge? Yeah, I guess so. It's a little short course truck, I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. So I guess as time progresses, we'll eventually see the damn thing run, because you were supposed to get a badass video of this thing like jumping at the place I go to, the graveyard basically, that kills all vehicles when we go. So anyway, I'm gonna end this video now because I'm gonna just start rambling and I'm kind of pissed off at it. So I hope you're having a great time with your R5 if you have one, and if you don't, would I spend the $800 again? Honestly, probably not. Would I spend the $800 again, even if the four-wheel drive was working? I don't know. Probably not. It's a great truck, but it seems like it's just a gigantic A-scale truck that they just stretched and widened. And I really don't think that they engineered it to the point of, of what it's supposed to be. You can clearly see that these trucks were engineered for what they're supposed to be. Look at those shocks. They're up and down. Look at those ones. They're up and down. I don't get it. I haven't driven it yet, and I've already bought it, so I'm stuck with it for the most part, probably. So I guess once I drive it, if it's amazing, then I'll eat some crow and I'll take my words back. But from what I can tell, it looks like it's going to break.